We're still gonna have to go back to the NFC South and the NFC East and like run through their teams. But let's run through the NFC East real quick. Talk about those teams, the moves that they've made, possibly gonna make, and we want to start with. We were already talking about the Giants. Let's go ahead and start there at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, Daniel Jones and the Giants.
I think they're so dumb. Like, they made a great move a couple years ago picking up Brian Daboll for their coach, and then like they did nothing to help him as far as players go. Like, Daniel Jones is not the answer. Like, I don't know why they made the same mistake again, and then they let Saquon Barkley go. I'm guessing they're planning ahead for the future. You know, Brian Daboll's probably like what they're doing in the office in New York right now for the Giants this year. They're not even going to be watching games. They're going to be watching college football because they're going to be looking for their drafts next year. It pretty much them and the Patriots office. Like both those offices, like they're literally going to be watching college football all year long because they're going to be looking for like the best studs that they can pick up. Because like that's the only thing they got working for them right now is the fact that they do have capital next year to draft a lot.
Saving their money. They do have Drew Lock as a backup just in case Daniel Jones can't hack it.
Daniel Hackett. It would have been funny if he was their offensive coordinator.
Daniel Hackett.
Yeah.
That would have been funny. Not really even seeing any Allen Robinson.
Yeah, like
they're number one wide receiver probably. They do have Devin Singletary now instead, but even then, that's a RB2-3 if anything.
So basically, we have the Jets winning 3 games, and they're all basically like any given Sunday type of games to where they were underestimated. They're the underdogs.
You said the Jets. You meant the Giants winning 3 games.
No, I meant the Jets.
Giants winning 3 games all season long.
We got the Giants winning 3 games, and they're basically upset games
that they should lose, but they come out on top because I don't know why. Because the Lord works in mysterious ways. That's why. Mysterious. I'm gonna be right back.
Yeah. So they're gonna get wins against Dallas, Seahawks, and Commanders, and that's it. They're gonna be lucky, and those wins are gonna be, like I said, those teams were basically sleeping.
Very hard to do a mouse left-handed, just so you guys know. I'm not left-handed.
Yeah, see, that takes skill.
It
takes skill.
Takes my brain to work white.
So next we have the Commanders.
The who?
The Commanders.
Oh, you mean the old Redskins? The old Redskins, yeah.
Or the National Football Team, or whatever it was called.
Washington Football Team.
The Washington Football Team.
That was a fun. I can't believe they couldn't come up with a name.
No more Cowboys versus Indians on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's long gone. Unfortunately, I mean, it was a good pastime for what it was, but
I can't believe it. Like.
So the Commanders, T.J. Lauren or what is it?
Tyler Heineke.
No, what? No, Terry McLaurin. Jaden Daniels is their new quarterback from Arizona State. I mean, the number 2 pick overall. That's really all I have on that. Commanders.
The Commanders, they're okay. They have some good pieces. They somehow perform well in clutch moments, and that's how they win games. They usually, when you do win a game, it's usually because they win it at the end of the game.
But they did pick up Austin Eckler. So
we'll see how he does. He was injured. He's been injured both of his last 2 seasons.
They got Zach Ertz.
So
as a tight end. So I mean, the names don't sound bad. Sam Hartman, Austin Jones. Oh yeah, and Marcus Mariota as a backup.
Backup to Sam Howell,
and then also with Jaden Daniels, their new pickup.
So you think they're gonna?
I don't know. I personally don't see them throwing in the rookie right off rip.
I don't think so either. They're not like Chicago.
Yeah, I think they'll start off. With Howell, and then if Howell starts to underperform, they'll put in Jaden.
I mean, Howell did pretty okay last year. He did good enough. Of course, they didn't win.
Yeah. They didn't win too many games.
They did better than some of the other quarterbacks in this draft class, for sure. We have them going 8-9. They travel to Tampa in the beginning of the season. They lose. And then they play the Giants and they win. They travel to the Cincinnati and lose. They beat the Cardinals. And then they lose to the Browns, lose to the Ravens, beat the Panthers, beat the Bears, and they lose to the Giants, then they lose to the Steelers, and they lose to the Eagles, then they lose to Dallas.
A lot of losing going on with that.
Yeah, 5-1, that's a 4-game loss streak. And then they beat the Titans, and then they have a bye week, and then they come off their bye week, they lose to the Saints, and then they beat the Eagles. They have a good game against the Falcons, and then they finish their season winning their last 3 games against divisional opponents. So that may help them at the end. Like they pull it together.
Looks like they're pulling it together to possibly make a run for wild card.
Possibly. So they finished 8-9. We'll see how it plays out. Could we make an argument for any of the other games? I mean, maybe they beat the Giants. Maybe they beat Tampa in opening. I don't see that either.
Yeah, no.
So maybe just the Giants game. So maybe go 9-8 at best.
I don't see the Commanders pulling off any
exciting
wins.
I mean, we have them.
They'll win by fluke, I'm assuming, but not by design.
Yeah, we don't have them beating any good teams.
Surprise.
Well, we do have them beating Eagles, Falcons, and Commanders at the end of the season.
How are the Commanders beating the Commanders? Unless you're talking about the Giants.
Eagles, Falcons, Dallas.
Okay, so they beat the Eagles, the Falcons, and the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys at the end of the season.
But that's because they're trying to make a run for it. That's probably because Sam Howell maybe wasn't working out. And
they switched to Jaden, and he starts to show up somewhere along
after
the way.
That 4-game losing streak they have there.
I mean, that would be a good time to switch quarterbacks. 4-game losing streak, especially if they're riddled with interceptions and fumbles that are his. Let me rephrase, because the running back drops the ball. That's not the QB's problem. I mean, it is his problem, but it's not his fault.
So you want to cover the next 2?
So then we're going to jump into the Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys.
So,
second-rated receiver behind Justin Jefferson as far as yards per catch. Let's see, where did you go, boys?
I haven't really been paying too much attention to what the Cowboys have been doing, other than Dak Prescott and whether he's going to get his contract or
whether
not.
He's going to stay.
That's really dependent, because if Dak Prescott's not on this team, what are they going to do? What other quarterback are you going to bring in? Right? What other quarterbacks are on the market right now to bring in to throw to CeeDee Lamb?
What backup are you going to try to pick up to maintain your top tier caliber quarterback? CeeDee Lamb had 135 receptions last year with 1,749 yards, 12 touchdowns. It's good. 29 catches of 20-plus yards. That's the one. He was right behind Tyreek Hill for the longest.
Yeah. Most receptions over 20.
Most receptions over 20 yards. That's the stat I was reading earlier that I was so shocked by.
So run us through the games real quick.
I do not have them in front of me.
All right, I'll do it.
They got Brandon Cooks, Malik Davis.
Well, I know they got rid of Tony Pollard. Ezekiel Elliott came back, didn't he?
He is still there, yes.
He came back. But, he left. He left at the right time because he wasn't that great when he left because he went and played for New England, the Patriots.
That was garbage.
And Ramondre Stevenson outplayed him, so he didn't do that great. And now he's back in Dallas. So it's like they don't have any kind of run identity, so they're going to be throwing the ball.
They have Trey Lance still.
Well, they picked up Trey Lance. Yeah, they picked up Trey Lance last year from San Francisco. But Trey Lance has played maybe 1 quarter's worth of professional football in 4 years.
Well, maybe it's time to put his ass on the field and make him earn some of that goddamn money he's been making.
Maybe that's the plan.
Because if they can't get Dak Prescott to sign a contract or give him the money that he wants, they got Trey Lance right there.
If they just paid CeeDee Lamb, I don't think they can give him money. He wants $60 million. And if he gets that before Tua gets paid, Tua's gonna want $60 million.
What are they arguing about now? How many millions can I make this year?
Right, gosh. And with that, the Cowboys, we expect the Cowboys to go about 11-6. They start the season, they beat the Browns, they beat the Saints, and they lose against the Ravens. They fall short against the Giants because they underestimate them. They're going into the game laughing and shit and playing.
Micah Parsons went on vacation for that.
Yeah,
he wasn't there, so
and
Daniel Jones wasn't.
And obviously we have Trey Lance playing, not this guy. You know what I'm saying? But then they beat the Steelers. They lose to the Lions. The Lions are a much better team all around. Bye week, then they go and they beat the 49ers. They beat the Falcons. They beat the Eagles. Then they lose to the Texans. They beat the Commanders. They beat the Giants. They beat the Bengals. They lose to the Panthers. They beat the Bucks, the Eagles, and then lose to the Commanders.
I don't see them losing to the Commanders, though.
I mean, I can make an argument that they don't lose to the Panthers either.
Yeah, that's 2 extra games right there that they could possibly win. Which would put them at, 13?
It would put them at 13-4.
Yeah.
That would put them at 13-4. And then also the Giants. That would put them at 14-3.
14-3. That's going to be a tough division because they still got the Eagles, too. They're what I would like to call the top of that division, in my mind.
This year, yes, for sure, I think so. I think
with Jalen Hurts,
the top of that division. If not, the top of the conference.
Yeah. That'll be a fight between the birds, the dirty birds. The Falcons and the Eagles as far as who I feel would be able to take the division if you're looking at all 4 of them individually.
Yeah. I mean, the addition of Saquon Barkley is just...
that's top tier.
That's like Christian McCaffrey going to the Patriots.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
that's
a big... the exact same player except he's just different. They're literally the exact same player.
They did pick up offensive tackle Mekhi Becton from the Jets. I wasn't exactly happy about that, but, hey, can't keep everybody, so off to the next one. Good luck in Philadelphia.
Yeah, good luck pushing your quarterback over the goal line.
That's probably the only reason they picked his ass up, too, because he's fucking 300 pounds, I'm sorry. He is. Let me go back. He's 363 pounds. I'll just throw you over the offensive line, coach. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Come on. Get on my back. I'll carry you.
And then they got A.J. Brown still.
Devontae Smith.
Saquon
Barkley. DeAndre Swift. Right? They have DeAndre Swift.
Dallas Goedert. Deontay Swift.
So, I mean, and they have Jalen Hurts.
And they picked up Bryce Huff also from the Jets. So they picked up some pretty good defensive and offensive players.
So
to bolster their already dominant offense.
And then they have Jalen Hurts to orchestrate it all, which is a top 10 quarterback. Like maybe top 7 quarterback.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can easily argue top 5.
With his performance, I could easily make an argument for top 5 for sure. Because like with the run...
And then Mr. Kenny Pickett as a backup.
With the run game that he offers, like, you know, you also have Saquon Barkley, so it's like, it's just like, imagine Baltimore, except he's not as good as Lamar Jackson.
And they picked up C.J. Uzomah, another tight end from the Jets. That's 3 Jets. Everybody's taking our fucking players, man. It's okay. Okay.
So as it stands, of them going 11-6. We'll go through it first.
You said 11-6 for the Eagles.
11-6. We'll go through it. So they start the season at home. 2 games at home. They play the Packers and the Falcons. They win. And then they go to the Saints. They win that one.
That's a 3. The chicken dinner.
3-0 right now. And then they go to Tampa. And they play Tampa. They lose against Tampa. They have their bye week. They have an early bye week.
And Mike Evans with some spectacular touchdown catch to end the game.
You know what I'm saying?
Baker Mayfield, good job, buddy.
So they're sitting at 3-1. And then they go on a 4-game win streak against the Browns, the Giants, the Bengals, and the Jaguars. To then travel to Dallas to lose against Dallas. And then win against the Commanders.
Everybody's going to win against them.
Then they lose to the Rams over there, and Nakua and all them. They beat the Panthers.
Puka Nakua.
They lose to the Steelers. They lose to the Commanders, the home game for the Commanders. Remember, some of these are divisional rivalries, so that's why they lose.
Be a little feistier during those games.
And then they lose to Dallas, the second game against Dallas, and then they end their season winning against the Giants. Could we make arguments that they win any of those other games? Let's see. They have a loss to Tampa. They have a loss to Dallas. They have a loss to the Rams, Steelers, Commanders, and Eagles, and Dallas again. So they get swept by Dallas, which would give Dallas that
divisional lead.
Divisional lead. It would give Dallas the division.
And damn you, Dallas.
I mean, Dallas has a better defense.
Yes, they do.
Philly has a really good offense, but their defense is like.
Well, that's why they picked up these Jets defensive players and tried to bolster their defense with our guys.
Exactly. So we'll see.
They knew that the Jets were breeding defensive players last season, so they wanted a couple of their own that they could call theirs. Don't agree with it? That's too bad.
Like and subscribe anyways.